Hello and welcome to the first episode of the RCHS podcast. I'm Bobby, founder of the podcast club here at Rancho Cucamonga High School. Here on the podcast, we will be interviewing a variety of guests that will help us gain a new look on the teenage perspective. So let's get started, and I'm going to send it off to our main hosts to explain a little more.
Hi, welcome to the first episode of the RCHS podcast. I'm your main host, Lucas.
And I'm your co-host, Frida.
And in this podcast, we're going to be going over daily life as teenagers and how it affects us, school, things like that. Now that we're getting into jobs, as we're going to be interviewing older people and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just going to be a nice chill podcast, and I think we should start doing it.
Yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to be a host in place of Lucas for this first segment for our freshmen. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Atan.
My name is Andre.
So, how are you guys doing freshman year? What's your first impressions of high school, and how is it going in general of starting this new chapter in your life?
It was good. As soon as I got to meet the sophomores and juniors that I already knew coming into school, I felt like it's going to be a good 4 years.
My first impression was I had no clue about high school, so you always think your stereotypical little high school movie.
True.
Yeah.
The seniors beat up the juniors beat up the sophomores, and sophomores beat up the freshmen, so I was like, oh man, we're at the bottom of this. But Rancho's got a great welcoming people, the Link crew. They were really cool when we first came here, and then so I had a great idea because I heard how Rancho's was spirit-wise, we're really big on spirit and stuff like that. So it was a mixture of both good and nervousness. So
Yeah, that's really great.
Why RCHS? Why did you choose this school? What were your other choices? Why this one?
So my other choices were Roosevelt High School and Charter Oak. The reason why I chose this high school is because I played on our 7-on-7 team in Irvine, and then I got to meet all the freshman coaches, and then we kind of got to learn about the school, and we wanted to come here.
Cool. Okay, so you mentioned coaches and stuff. You playing a sport?
Yeah.
Yeah, what sport?
I play freshman football.
Freshman football.
Do you both play?
yeah, we both play for the freshman football team.
Starting the school year out straight with football. How was that in general then?
It was kind of crazy because our second day of school, we got to go to Bishop Amat, which is a pretty good school. And it was a pretty good experience at stepping on the field for the first time, high school starting.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of cool knowing okay, I'll get called out of class early for game day, which is pretty cool, and I get the excuse to eat in class because protein and you need all that. But it was kind of a bit jumpy at first because you start off at least for me, who's never played football before freshman, it was kind of jumpy because I had never had any clue with what I had to do in the sport, and then I had to mix school in with that, so it was a lot of pressure at first, but then after the first week, I got a hand on it, so it was pretty good.
Okay, that's really awesome.
Did you guys have to move to go to the school, or do you guys live in Rancho?
I live in Rancho now, but before it was I didn't live in Rancho, but I live in Rancho now, and I had to transfer from Los Osos High School, and I'm really glad I did because I think I made the right choice.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I think Los Osos is one of our big companies.
Yeah, we've got a big rival with Osos.
Same thing with
So,
ET1 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the difficulties of starting a new school again? And it's a new one, so.
Coming straight out of middle school.
Well, the hard thing was I had to try to make new friends. Even though I do have some of my teammates in my classes, I still felt like making new friends is kind of gotta be hard.
Yeah, like Tom said, making friends is really hard, especially because I transferred from Los Osos to over here. A lot of my friends went to Los Osos, so it was now I have to make a fresh beginning where I can get new people to hang out with because all my friends, they're essentially in their own world of high school right now.
Are you guys still in touch with people you knew in middle school, or you guys kind of fell off?
I learned who were my true friends when we changed schools because I had a lot of friends in a big group, and then when we kind of got split in half, because some friends went to Oso, some friends went to Rancho, we found out who our true friends were, and we lost contact with a lot, but we still kept a few in contact.
It's really good. So we've talked about a lot of these different things like sports and school in general, but starting this school year, do you guys have any like super embarrassing things that have happened to you or
So
you've
far.
done so far in this school year?
Yeah. Our first ever school event where we kicked off against Servite was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay, yeah, elaborate.
That was pretty bad. So the score was
41 to 0.
41 to 0. Our first freshman, my first impression of football. All right, I was so excited. Woohoo! It's our first game, and we kicked it off with the scoreboard ending in something no one likes to see.
How does it feel having 0 period? I don't know.
It's not much different than my other school, because at my other school we started at like 8. I think it was 8:10,
Earlier.
and so like it's not much different. Just it's a little earlier. I mean,
Yeah.
you get used to it after a while.
I also have a 0 period, so I get it. It's not too bad. It's just like
Yeah.
you wake up, you get a little earlier, but because they've shifted it to 8:30, like a few years ago, high school used to start like way earlier. It used to start where 0 period is starting now. So like, how do you guys feel about that change? Do you like how they start it later now, or
Or sleep.
do you want to just like?
Well, I kind of like it because we had a lot of problems because Roosevelt was starting so early and then traffic getting to the school because it's
Yeah.
Eastville Elementary and then my middle school, River Heights, and then Roosevelt's right next door. So I kind of like it because the traffic isn't as bad trying to get into school.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make that much of a difference to me because I've always been an early riser. Like at 7 a.m. I'm always awake, whether
Yeah.
I didn't set an alarm or it's just a natural thing for doing this for so many years. It's just you naturally wake up at that time, so it doesn't make that much of a difference to me.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Another just kind of fun question. So like, what's your like favorite like school subject in general, excluding sports because you guys are about that. You can talk about that, but we've talked about it a lot. Like, what sort of school subject? Not absolutely like teachers. You don't have to talk about
You
that.
don't have to mention them.
But just like the subject in general. What do you really love to learn?
My elective class is probably my favorite class, Computer Career Finances.
Ooh, nice.
Because it's surrounded by a bunch of juniors and seniors, and then
How you like being with the upperclassmen? You like it makes you like
it pushes you to do much harder, and then you get to kind of figure out what you want to do after your 4 years of high school. Because people don't know what they want to do.
Yeah, that's always good to see what you want to do.
Mine's probably digital film. Like, as much
Me too.
work as it is, it's so much fun, and especially because Mr. Cataldo, he's the only man that can lecture you for
Yes.
10 seconds, and then he'll make you be laughing like nonstop.
He'll criticize you in the nicest way possible. He'll be
Yeah.
so sarcastic, so right.
Yeah, he makes the class enjoyable, and then plus, I feel like, well, I don't know about like younger generations, but I feel like a lot of us, like when we were little kids, wanted to be like YouTubers. So it was like it's kind of cool learning like the backside.
Yeah,
of
how
it,
it actually
like,
all works.
How do you edit it? How do you put those subtitles in? How do you cut that video and make it have a transition or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for context, Mr. Cataldo here at RCHS is the like video teacher, the
He does the bulletin.
teacher.
You probably see it like every day.
Bulletin, we're coming for you here at the RCHS podcast.
We will overpower you. They can't stop laughing about it. They're like, oh, competitive. So how is the upperclassmen treating you guys? Have you guys had any interactions with them, or like something you'd be like, oh, is that because I'm a freshman or anything like that?
My impression with the upperclassmen is they kind of take you under their wing, kind of teach you what they know.
This year, very much I
help
see
you
that.
out. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like I grew up watching all the high school movies and thinking
Yeah.
beat on each other, and then when I came
This school's
and
very
found
big,
out
you know?
some people have hospitality, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm not going to be picked on because I'm a freshman. So like Tom said, they do take you under your wing and they teach you, like, just from their experiences.
Yeah, that's such a great point, because in so many movies they have like just like this image of all the upperclassmen always like throwing the freshmen into trash cans.
And like your parents watch that and be like, does that actually happen, Frida? What happens? Like my mom and dad, like they're like, be careful, the kids are mean there. I'm like, Mom, that's fake. That's not actually happening.
Which is pretty amazing how we at RCHS have a pretty good standard for people in general are pretty nice.
Do you guys have any hobbies besides sports? Like something you like, oh, I like to draw, I like to listen to music. Is there anything like particular you like to do?
Definitely, I like to listen to music. It's one of the best things, and just sitting going into the pool is a great way of relaxation, especially after a long week of sports and doing all that running, getting your muscles in better shape coming up for the next upcoming week.
Yeah.
Adrian?
It's kind of, I do like a decent bit of stuff. Like I listen to music. I like to draw. I like to airbrush. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Airbrush.
Oh yeah, I heard
I
of
like
it.
to airbrush. I like to do all types. I play video games. I used to work on cars with my uncles, and so like I have a variety of things. But
So you're very like expansive. Trying new things.
What I love about the way my parents raised me is they tried to expose me to all art forms. So like I was a mixture of a nerd and like a sports player, and so like I get all the pop culture references while at the same time understanding why people were mad about the football game last night. So it was really cool how my parents raised me, because they raised me to be like artistic in all forms, like of music, drawing,
Very
sports.
cultural,
Yeah.
cultural knowledge. I
Yeah.
think that's a very big
That's
thing
really
nowadays.
cool.
We're always surrounded by diverse people. Like if you ask people, like I think geography. Like if you know geography, when someone says you ask them where they're from, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm from this country." Some people like they don't even know what to imagine because they don't even know where that country is. So I think it's really important to really like value other people's cultures. So you can. It's a great way to connect with people.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of music, do you guys think music plays a big part in your life? So you guys both said you guys love listening to music.
Yeah, music definitely plays a big part in your life. There's music like you could play after something bad happens. Like an incident, I played music after my best friend last year almost lost his life in Oakland. I was so glad to see him coming back to school on that Monday. So
Wow.
yeah, music is a big.
Music was always a big thing for me because like all my family listens to different genres. So like like when my great grandfather passed away, I like to listen to his type just to give me like that feeling that like he still plays a role in my life today and how I am and how it affects me.
That's really important. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any crazy stories
Any
you can tell?
crazy things that happened to you or you heard of?
Not really. I haven't been in anything pretty bad. It's been kind of
Chill.
controlled.
Good.
I got stuck in the bathroom. That was an interesting
Whoa,
story.
okay,
So
story time.
What happened was, so we're in Spanish class, and I've been
Was this a week ago? How long ago was
This
this?
was like probably, I'd say like 3 weeks ago. So
Okay.
I've been holding my restroom since like second period, and it's fourth period, or it's fifth period now, and I'm like, okay, I can't hold this anymore, and at Rancho we have the 10-minute rule.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I went up to my Spanish teacher and I was like, can I please go? I know it's the 10-minute rule. I said, I'll be real fast, and I just really gotta go. And so she let me go. And so I was really excited. So I went down the stairs and I went in the restroom. And so I close the door and I sit down, do my business, and I look and there's no toilet paper. Everybody's worst nightmare when they enter the stall. There's no toilet paper. So I was like, okay, there's nobody in here, so I gotta improvise. And so I look, there's no seat covers either. So I was like, okay, so I'm really stuck in here now. This is fun.
Was there anybody else in the bathroom
There
to
was
like
nobody
know?
else in the restroom. So thankfully, I had my phone on me, and my football teammate Noah, he was in my Spanish class. So I asked him. I said, when you get down here, I said, can you grab all my stuff and can you bring me, when you get in the restroom, can you bring me some toilet paper? So I sat there for like the last 5 minutes of fifth period in the restroom, stuck, just just waiting, and then thankfully my friend Noah, he brought me my stuff and he brought me toilet paper, so I got to get out of the restroom.
What's your guys' favorite restaurants? I think this is a very controversial topic.
Well, we kind of started a tradition. Every home game varsity has, after school, we don't got anything to do, so we all walk to Wendy's.
Oh.
Is it nearby?
Yeah, so it's
You like it?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Wendy's because of the tradition we made, and we're probably gonna do it all 4 years.
Yeah, I feel like, well, right now it's under like painting or something like that. I forget, so we haven't gone. But like Wendy's, it was like the kickback place after practice. You're hungry, you need something you can afford, and you want to get there fast. Wendy's was that spot that you could just go to.
Well, I think that's good for this segment of you guys.
Do you guys want to shout your Instagrams or promote anything?
My Instagram is @BisleyBradger. Go follow me. You're gonna see a lot of stuff that's about to be great through 4 years and maybe even through college.
Adrian?
I don't really want to shout out anything.
That's fine.
I want to say thank you to you guys, obviously, for interviewing us.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I feel like this one.
Thank you, Andre.
To the Link crew, because the Link crew, like, I feel like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had a good like
Start.
Because we did the freshman orientation, and like I said like 3 times already, the movie thing.
Yeah.
Really
I was like scared.
Do you know any movies or like TV shows you were like really saying, okay, this one you would compare it to?
Probably The Amazing Spider-Man. Show
Oh,
us your stereotypical like sports player.
With
And
Andrew
just so
Garfield in it,
everybody
yeah.
knows, we're not jerks. We don't bully people. We're good people.
Yeah, people have
We
stereotypes
don't-
about football
we don't-
players.
Yeah, when you think you're stereotypical football player, you think somebody who just fails their classes, only is into football and bullies people. We're good people. We're on top of our grades.
Yeah.
We're good at our sports, but we also, we're social people. We talk about other stuff than football.
Yeah, our main goal is if you need help, you could always ask one of us. We'll always help you out if you need it. That is our biggest thing that we have on the football team is help out a student that is in need because you never know. One day they probably can help you.
That's a very good
wonderful.
saying.
So thank you a ton.
Yeah, thank you guys so
Andre.
much. I really like this
thank
episode. You guys
so
were
much.
really good at answering the questions. You guys always had something to say. I liked you guys tagged along with it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What a great segment with our freshmen. I'm now going to hand it off to Lucas and Frida to interview some sophomores.
And we have our sophomore guest today.
Hi, I'm Elisha. And I'm Anna.
All right, you want to ask the first question?
Yeah. So how was your guys' sophomore year so far? It's only been like, I think it's the second month. We literally just started like a day ago. So how's it been going so far?
I feel like it's taken like a full 360 because at first all of the classes I hated, now I love them, and all of the classes I loved, they kind of suck.
Mine was sort of the opposite. I don't know. I had a schedule change because I started tennis recently. And so it was like kind of a roller coaster, I guess. But now I have so many classes with all my friends.
Wasn't it kind of difficult getting switched out of all your classes? Because then did they have to move a lot of your classes?
No, I
'Cause you
only
were just-
changed like 3 classes. Because, okay.
That's a lot.
Because I messaged my counselor and I was like, can you move this to this and this to that? And she was like, yeah, sure. So she did exactly what I asked.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, dang.
Oh, so it's a lot easier.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, when I got moved into soccer, they just flipped my 6th and 5th. So, but that's nice that you guys are having a good sophomore year so far. Well, partially.
So what was your guys' first impression of sophomore year? Mostly when you're a freshman, you always think, oh, I wonder how sophomore year is. Is it going the way you thought it was, or is it going the complete opposite?
I was so excited to see the freshmen because like we were weird and like I wanted to see how weird they were gonna be, and they're pretty weird, but like it's great. It's going great.
I haven't interacted with any freshmen yet,
Which
but but I mainly was like, I don't want to do world history. I absolutely hate world history.
You hate world history?
Well, the teacher's nice, but like the work is a lot.
So, let's get into a different question. You brought up tennis, right? So,
Yeah.
what's it like being an athlete?
Horrible.
Having like after school activities
Yeah.
after school.
It's so hot, and then you okay. It depends on who or what kind of person you are. For me personally, it's not much of a problem, but other people, they have like homework to do after practice, and Some people don't have time for that, and they have to stay up late and have to do it. So it's kind of hard to do. But yeah.
I am not an
Oh, I
athlete.
forget you're not an athlete. Sorry.
We're like complete opposites. I love being in clubs, hate sports, hate that stuff. Complete opposite. An athlete, no bueno with clubs.
So what clubs are you in?
I'm in Kits and Caboodles. I'm trying to be more active in Key Club and CSF and Video Game Appreciation. I'm actually the vice president of Kits and Caboodles.
Oh, nice.
Mentioning after school activities, how is it like managing everything? Because I have like a senior sister and she's kind of like, it takes a lot of homework, like pre-calculus. They give homework. I don't know, that's what I at least have heard. So how is it managing everything so far?
For her, how's it managing?
Wait, no, I thought it was clubs.
No, clubs
Yeah,
or
clubs.
Well,
on top of
everything,
work.
like all your schoolwork, like getting stuff done, having to do it after school.
As a master procrastinator, I don't do things most of the time, and then when I do, I feel like it's not enough time because I forget things as well. But I also love procrastinating, so homework's just hard. But for her,
On the other hand, I do everything the moment I get the paper. So we're both in AP Bio, and we have weekly homework assignments. That's like you have to answer questions. We got it assigned, and I did it that night. And then a week later, when it was due, everyone was like, "Oh, I didn't do it," and I was like, "What?"
yeah, and I started looking at the textbook today.
You guys brought up like AP and honors classes. How do those like affect you outside of school?
I regret everything. I'm taking 3 honors classes and 3 AP classes. I don't know why I did that to myself. Meanwhile,
Do you know, like, do you see the difference? Did you take regular classes last year for freshman year? Or what's the difference between the difference of regular and then AP or honors?
what regular classes do freshmen have to take?
I don't know.
Because there's PE and
they're elective.
Well, like the classes that they could.
Yeah,
be
like the
taking.
difference between them, because like most of my classes are like regular. I don't really
Like
have
prep?
any. Yeah, so
Well,
they're
like,
different.
For sophomore year, most people's their schedule is dead set since last year we had elective, but now we have history. So I feel like more people have theirs like set on something, but a lot of people changed it.
Yeah, the only class last year that I had was a prep class besides PE, because PE's PE, was Spanish. Honors Spanish is extremely, like, different. Like, it was so easy back then, but then again, my Spanish teacher last year was epic, and now it's just, I don't know, it's difficult.
Do you guys? Do you think COVID trauma is over? Like having
Is
that,
it still there?
Like having to come in is like.
It's 2022. It
Yeah.
started 2020.
Every time someone coughs, I
still-
try not to joke about it, but
Flashbacks?
it's just too funny.
You still have like protocol, like make sure that if you're sick, then you still want to stay home. Like, do you think about that still? Like, you got to make sure that you're staying home when you're sick. Got to make sure that you're wearing a mask.
At an undisclosed time last year, I actually got sick, so I'm trying to be like careful about that now. It was terrible, so yeah.
I think the trauma is still sort of there. I mean, I don't write my name on any of my papers sometimes, and it's like very problematic because like when you're at home, you don't need to write your name on your paper. But now we do, and I haven't been writing my name on some of my papers, and they're like, where is your work? So I don't know.
I kind of know both of you guys like not personally, but like I know you guys
Well enough,
a little
I'd
bit
say.
outside of school. I know you like playing the ukulele, Elisha. How's that going for you? Is that going well?
I'm surprised I'm still playing it, honestly. Yeah. That's about it. I don't know what to say. Like, it's a hobby, but I don't really feel like I don't like talking about it. Like, I can post on social media and stuff because, like, no one can say things to you, or like it doesn't really affect you if it's online. But if like someone went up to me and like in person and went like, "Yo, that's so cool," I'd probably just like drop dead or something.
Now that you're a sophomore, is anybody treating you more differently because you're older? Like some of your older friends that you had last year that were juniors, now that they're seniors, are they treating you more different?
Anyone on the podcast listening right now, if you saw me in real life, you'd probably think I was a child, like probably still a freshman. I still act like a freshman, talk like a freshman. So no one treats me differently because I don't know, I'm basically
Still a
feel
freshman
like
at heart?
Yeah. What about you?
Um,
Do people treat you differently?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's just more boring because you already know everyone. So if you take like classes that are meant for sophomores, you know most of the people in your class.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like nothing has really changed.
What's the best burger joint?
The best burger joint? I mean, I would say Five Guys.
Okay.
I don't have one. I don't have
You don't.
What's your guys' order at In-N-Out?
Depends on the day. Depends on recent times. Because recently I've been trying to what's it called bulk, right? So that means to gain weight, right? So I've been trying to bulk, and I've been recently getting double doubles, triple stack,
Triple hamburger.
and like triple stack, yeah. So and animal style fries, stuff like that,
That's one
right? So
short.
I'm trying to like eat more, but like on a normal, like if I wasn't trying, then I'd probably just get a regular cheeseburger, animal style fries, shake. Thank you for coming on to the first episode of the podcast.
Well, it was nice being on.
All right, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you so much for coming.
Goodbye. Yes.
Hey guys, we're here with some more sophomores. Do you guys want to...
I'm Ella Shade.
And I'm Sophia Almeida.
And I'm the chief screenwriter of the podcast. I'm Adrian, and I'm here to fill in as a co-host. What are your guys' first impression of like sophomore year?
My first impression about sophomore year has been, it's been good, but also it's a little more strict, like it's less relaxed as freshman year.
I actually really enjoyed sophomore year. Sometimes I do still feel like I'm still a freshman, which is kind of weird, but sophomore year has been really good so far.
Do you think sophomore year is any more difficult than freshman year, academically or just mentally?
Definitely academically. I feel like teachers are a little bit more like, okay, you're in the groove now. Like, just like, it's like more businessy, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like freshman year, all the teachers are still nice this year.
Yeah.
But they're more like,
Strict?
yeah, strict this year about like deadlines and all that stuff.
Quick topic change. Do you guys think that COVID trauma is over?
I think like whether it's good or bad, I think that people learned how to like talk to people online more, which I think is cool in some aspects. Maybe in other aspects it's a little weird, but
Yeah, like I definitely in COVID, I made actually a lot of good friends online, just because you couldn't really see your friends in person. I mean, I guess sometimes, but some people were scared, so.
Have you guys actually met any of these people that you've met online in person?
I was going to actually
Oh, what
once, and then I feel like I can't remember what happened, but for some reason we weren't able to do it. But I'm still friends with him now. We probably don't really talk as much though, just because of school and all that.
I didn't really make any friends like that I didn't know in real life. I kind of just meant like connecting with friends that you already knew. But yeah.
How are your teachers? Do you have any like favorites so far?
Yeah, I think I have a favorite teacher.
Oh.
I'm probably not. Probably not gonna say the name just because like I don't know. I would feel bad.
Other teachers?
Yeah, I'd like feel bad. I don't know.
I actually really like all of my teachers this year. I don't think I got one teacher that I was kind of like I wish I had the other teacher for honors English or
Yeah, I definitely-
honors math or AP.
So you're saying you like all your teachers, like you wouldn't change them out or any other way, right?
Yeah.
I
just
probably
started.
wouldn't either.
You wouldn't?
No, I have a favorite though.
I would just started listing because I didn't want people to think.
Do you guys have any embarrassing moments like you can mention throughout your life or maybe specifically freshman year? You guys want to mention like your top embarrassing moment?
Personally, I got
You got what?
Ellie, you have one?
Yeah, sure. So, in the beginning of the year, I was kind of like
This year or freshman year?
this year.
Okay.
Can it be this year?
Yeah, it can be this year.
Okay. So I actually was kind of worried about like making the basketball team, but because I played last year, but like I heard there was going to be a lot of transfers, whether that's true or not, I'm not really sure, but I was kind of worried. And so I was like, I should do another sport. And so I talked to my grandma, and she had like an old golfing club set. And so I went out onto the field for golf trials. I've never, besides mini golf, I have never held a club in my life. So I kind of showed up.
Okay, but did you make the golf?
No! It was so embarrassing.
Everyone knew what to do, and she's like, "How do you use this thing?"
No, actually, like, people came, like, with, like, all their stuff and, like, the gloves, and they were, like, hitting it, because you're supposed to hit these targets, right? It didn't go next to the target, like, whatsoever. It was really embarrassing.
Oh, did you say they were individual too?
Yeah, like, but, like, you had to go, like, one by one. The tryouts were, like, one by one. It wasn't, like, basketball tryouts.
Yeah, that
kinda
would be scary.
Sophia, do you have any moments that you remember that were quite embarrassing for you that you still look back on?
I'm trying to think back to freshman year, and I know there was embarrassing moments, but I'm like can't think of them right now. But I know there definitely were. This year though, I didn't fall down the stairs last year, which was good. But this year, I did. I mean, I didn't fall all the way down. It was like the last step, and I think I just didn't think there was another step. So like my heel slipped and I fell backwards, and there was people behind me. It was really, I got up so fast. That was one of the most embarrassing things.
Do you guys have any favorite food places? Like you say, like that's my top restaurant. I'd go there anytime.
I really like Cane's. I know it's really basic, but I just enjoy their chicken and food, I guess. Except for their coleslaw. I do not like coleslaw. Just in case anyone cared.
Is it because what's in the coleslaw, or is it just?
No, I just tried it and I was like, this is nasty.
I've never even had coleslaw.
Pronounce it.
I like taco. Okay, now I'm not even sure if that's what it's called, but I'm pretty sure the restaurant's called Taco Hut.
Taco Hut or Taco Head?
Taco Hut.
I keep hearing head. Taco Hut.
Taco Head.
I was just gonna spell it, but then I'm like, what if I spelled it wrong? What? Like out loud.
You need to be an English class.
I am an English class.
Oh,
okay.
good one.
What do you guys think about your middle school food compared to high school food? Do you think it got better, worse, or are you like, it's the same?
Well, they're
I think
both kind of gross.
Oh my god!
Wait, high school lunch is gross?
No, well, I might just be picky. I'm like a picky eater, so like some things are good, but then this is with both middle school and high school. But some of the things like I just didn't really like at all.
Yeah, I think it stayed the same. I only had liked one thing from middle school lunches, and then I don't. They kind of taste the same. Like
okay, it tastes the same. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We're right now gonna go into the next segment.
Thank you so much for listening, and if you want to hear that next segment, make sure to tune in next week for the interviews we'll be having with juniors and seniors.